In a jaw-dropping twist, 50 Cent released a mysterious video involving Aaron Carter that's sending shockwaves through social media. The footage, cryptically captioned and quickly going viral, hints at deeper connections, and Diddy's name is now being dragged into the storm. Fans are demanding answers, and insiders say Diddy's team is scrambling. Is this the bombshell that changes everything? A tragic fall, Aaron Carter's death, family grief, and unanswered questions. The world was stunned when news broke that Aaron Carter, once a teenage pop sensation and actor, was found dead in his Lancaster, California home at the age of just 34. What initially seemed like another heartbreaking chapter in the long story of fame-fueled self-destruction has evolved into something far more complex and possibly far darker. Now, with newly released images, suspicions from his grieving mother, and inconsistencies in the official narrative, questions surrounding Aaron's death continue to grow louder. The shocking discovery. On the morning of November 5, 2022, law enforcement received a disturbing 911 call around 11 a.m. The report was clear. A male had drowned in a bathtub. That male was Aaron Carter. Found in the bathroom of his home, his body had reportedly been submerged in water that had turned a strange green hue. The jets of the tub were still running. The smell of decomposition was already noticeable, suggesting his body had been there for some time. Disturbing photos released later by his mother, Jane Schneck, depict a haunting scene. Dirty water filled the bathtub, towels lay neatly on the floor, and there was what appeared to be feces smeared across the tiles. The room where Aaron's life ended was chaotic and unsettling, but oddly, it lacked the kind of disturbance one might expect from an emergency CPR attempt or frantic rescue. Mother's quest for truth, Jane Schneck made the bold and emotional decision to release these photos to the public via her Facebook page. Her reason? She believes law enforcement dismissed the death too quickly, attributing it to an accidental overdose without considering the possibility of foul play. Her posts carry a chilling tone. We want answers. We want justice. She has openly accused the Lancaster Police Department of failing to treat her son's home as a crime scene, allegedly due to his well-documented history with addiction and mental illness. Jane claims inconsistencies in the timeline of events leading up to Aaron's death and multiple missed opportunities for intervention. According to her, welfare checks were supposedly conducted the night before his body was discovered, but no one actually confirmed Aaron's condition. Housekeeper Betty, the only other person reportedly in the house, claimed he was fine, but Jane and others are skeptical of that narrative. A troubled life in the spotlight. Aaron Carter rose to fame in the late 1990s and early 2000s as a boyish, energetic performer with a catchy pop sound. The younger brother of Backstreet Boys' Nick Carter, Aaron capitalized on the family name, but quickly carved out a niche of his own with hits like Aaron's Party, Come Get It, and television appearances, including a memorable MTV Cribs episode at the age of 15. But the charm of his early fame masked a much darker reality. Aaron would later reveal that his childhood was far from idyllic. He alleged abuse at the hands of close family members, including his sister Leslie, who died in 2012, and even accused his brother Nick of mistreatment. These claims were explosive, dividing fans and family members alike and revealing deep rifts within the Carter household. Aaron also said he was sexually abused by his backup dancers at the age of 8, a trauma he claimed haunted him well into adulthood. These revelations painted the picture of a child star caught in the gears of a brutal entertainment machine, with little protection and virtually no escape. A downward spiral. Over the years, Aaron Carter struggled with substance abuse, mental illness, and erratic behavior, all under the relentless gaze of the public. He was diagnosed with multiple mental health disorders, including schizophrenia, acute anxiety, and manic depression, although he later cast doubt on those diagnoses, suggesting they had been exaggerated or misunderstood. Nonetheless, he was open about his struggles, often speaking candidly on live streams or social media. His social media presence became increasingly concerning in the months before his death. During live streams, fans noted slurred speech, erratic behavior, and, in some cases, the disturbing sound of inhalants being used. One particularly unsettling live stream allegedly showed Aaron huffing computer duster, an extremely dangerous substance known to cause hallucinations, brain damage, and sudden death. Multiple welfare checks were requested by worried fans and friends, including one just days before his death. According to reports, police visited the home, but Aaron became upset, reportedly telling his housekeeper to remain in her room and ordering the officers to leave. That would be the last time anyone saw him alive. Conspiracies and suspicion. Despite his documented struggles, many, including his mother, believe Aaron did not intend to take his own life. In one of his last posts, Aaron wrote emphatically, "I would never kill myself. I love my life. What's wrong with you people?" This statement has become a rallying cry for those who suspect something more sinister occurred. Jane Schneck has pointed out several anomalies. The full tub with no water spilled outside it, the neat arrangement of towels despite supposed resuscitation attempts, and the green water, which she believes indicates the body had been there for longer than initially suggested. She also claims Aaron was receiving death threats online and was the target of coordinated harassment. Adding to the suspicions are the rumors of Aaron's intent to expose dark truths about the entertainment industry. He hinted at exploitation and secret gatherings among high-profile individuals. He claimed to have been blacklisted and manipulated since childhood. Some of these claims were loosely linked to others under scrutiny, such as Diddy, leading conspiracy theorists to suggest Aaron's death was not just a personal tragedy, but a silencing. Troubled relationships and legal woes. Aaron's fractured relationship with his family only adds to the complexity. He was involved in several public disputes with his brother Nick, who filed a restraining order against him just days before Aaron made abuse allegations public. Aaron denied posing a threat to anyone, saying instead that he was trying to heal from a lifetime of trauma. But those conflicts never fully resolved. At the time of his death, Aaron was embroiled in custody battles, financial trouble, and mental health crises. He had a young son, Prince, born in 2021, and he frequently expressed both joy and anxiety about fatherhood. Friends say he was trying to stay clean and was focused on his music and child, but struggled with isolation, paranoia, and trust issues. Housekeeper's account and timeline discrepancies. In the final 24 hours of Aaron Carter's life, the only person confirmed to be physically present in his home was his housekeeper, a woman named Betty. Her testimony has become a focal point in the unfolding questions surrounding Aaron's mysterious death. According to law enforcement reports and accounts from Carter's family, particularly his mother Jane, the timeline leading up to the discovery of his body remains unclear, marked by gaps and inconsistencies that have fueled public speculation. After a welfare check was conducted late Friday night, prompted by growing concerns from fans who had witnessed Aaron behaving erratically on social media, police arrived at the Lancaster, California residence. Betty, who had reportedly been hired to help manage the household and provide support, let them in. However, when Aaron learned of the welfare check, he became agitated, reportedly telling the police to leave and instructing Betty to stay in her room. She later claimed she followed his directions and did not have any further interaction with him for the remainder of the night. The next morning, on Saturday, November 5th, Betty approached Aaron's room with a cup of coffee, as was her routine. She reportedly noticed an unusual smell wafting through the house and that the dogs were barking incessantly, something they normally didn't do. When she knocked on the door and received no response, she entered the bathroom and made a horrifying discovery. Aaron's lifeless body submerged in a bathtub filled with discolored green water. The jets were still running, and the room was filled with an odor that suggested his body had been there for hours. Though Betty has not been named a suspect or person of interest in the case, Jane Carter and others have publicly questioned whether she might know more than she has shared. How could she have stayed in the same house for so long without checking in on Aaron? Why wasn't there a second welfare check when concerns about his well-being persisted into the next morning? The discrepancies between her account and law enforcement's version of events have deepened suspicions, especially for those who believe Aaron may not have died from an accidental overdose alone. A call for justice. Driven by a mother's grief and a fervent belief that her son's death was not fully investigated, Jane Carter has taken her campaign for justice public. She has released disturbing photos from the bathroom where Aaron died, including one showing a tub filled with greenish water and another displaying what appears to be smeared feces on the floor. She has asked pointed questions. Why were towels neatly folded nearby if emergency responders had rushed in to perform CPR? Why was there no water spillage, considering the tub was reportedly overflowing? Jane's social media posts are emotional and urgent, pleading for journalists, investigators, and the general public to look deeper. She has called out the Lancaster Police Department for what she believes was a failure to act on multiple red flags in the weeks leading up to Aaron's death. According to her, Aaron was the target of online harassment and had received threats serious enough to warrant intervention. True crime commentators and independent investigators have started to take interest. Jane has specifically reached out to figures like Nancy Grace, hoping to bring national attention to what she considers an unresolved death. She wants a second, more thorough investigation, one that does not begin with the assumption that her son was merely a troubled celebrity who overdosed. Legacy of a fallen star. Aaron Carter was only 34 years old at the time of his death, yet he had lived a life as turbulent and exposed as any star in modern pop culture history. Rising to fame in the early 2000s as a teen pop sensation, Aaron was beloved by millions for his music, charm, and youthful charisma. But behind the stage lights and catchy choruses was a life marked by deep personal pain, fractured family ties, and a desperate struggle to reclaim his identity. In the years before his death, Aaron made headlines for reasons far removed from music: feuds with his family, mental health battles, substance abuse, and controversial live streams that often featured him in distress. Despite it all, he maintained a loyal fan base and was vocal about his desire to heal and raise his infant son, Prince. His mother's campaign to reopen his case isn't just about accountability. It's about restoring dignity to a life that she feels was written off too soon. She believes Aaron wanted to live, that he was making plans for the future and trying to fight his demons. To dismiss his death as just another celebrity overdose, she argues, is a disservice to the truth. The unanswered questions. As federal agencies reportedly revisit certain elements surrounding Aaron's death, the questions continue to mount. Was Aaron really alone in his final hours? Were there people in his orbit who benefited from his silence or his absence? Was there a deeper conspiracy? Or did the system simply fail to protect a man in crisis? For now, the answers remain elusive. But what's certain is that the public's curiosity and Jane Carter's pursuit of justice are far from over. Aaron Carter's legacy is no longer just about pop stardom or personal tragedy. It's about the search for truth in a story that, for many, still feels unfinished.